Hi guys, I am Raseshwari Hindustani. I welcome you all on this platform of Be the Change by Aradhana Tewari. Last Sunday, things didn't go the way we planned. So again, we are here with our sensual and sexual there, Aradhana Tewari and my beautiful friend, Shivangi Dhadich, who gonna interview Aradhana on the hot and sexy topic that is turn it up and sex it up. Are you guys excited? Okay, let's welcome my beautiful friends, Aradhana Tewari and Shivangi Dhadich. Hi, girls.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Aradhana. Hi, Shivangi.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Shweta.
Raseshwari. Thank you for
Now,
introducing
Shivangi,
me.
you please take over from here. And I'm switching over my cam now. So you girls proceed.
Hey all.
Hello.
Hello. We are here.
How does it get better than this?
Yes, and what else is possible?
Hello.
So guys, so Shivangi, how would you like to start?
Yes, so I hope people are joining us in.
Just let's
Last when I
become
checked, it
kind
was
of.
I think 4 people around us.
So just let's wait for them. Let everybody
Yes,
enter
let's
in.
just wait for a 20-second.
So what was this idea meanwhile? What was that? The Shivangi sex it up and amp it up. Where did you get this idea to?
Well, oh, I see how this is turning around. I see that's what most
Before you
facilitators
interview
do.
me.
That's what most facilitators do. Ask them a question and they'll be like, no, but you tell me this first. Just one of my conversations with you, while you've been sharing your stories and while you've been sharing your experience, your journey, and which is very, very inspirational for me and for a lot of other people that you've worked with.
Thank you.
There's always been this question of like, how do you, as an Indian woman, how do you go out with utmost vulnerability in front of the world? And I think from there this whole idea sort of cropped up, and I've been in a lot of your classes and you do not never talk about sex, so it had to be done with you.
I love that. That really makes
I
me
guess
laugh.
you've been one of the people who really very excitingly and with a lot of spark talk about this topic.
Yeah, true that. That is. I just
I
love life
I
and
guess the world needs to see it.
yeah. So you're bringing me open in the world while making me too vulnerable to like keep
Of
going. But
course.
I think that's very in natural with me. I just flow with it somehow. I have never
Okay.
separated that world from my world, as it had always been separated by others. Like, so I guess that's
Uh, yeah, that's actually very, very wonderful to see.
yeah.
Because there are so many like theories and ideologies around oneness,
Yeah.
but like when I see you, I'm just like, this is just so simple. Like I
Because
didn't have to probably go through all of that material.
it's because it's never been separate for me. I mean, for me, one is one. It's been my childhood all through my life that I never had a separation of anything in my life. I was always, in fact, to separate things was a task for me in my entire life. To understand the separation of the weathers, to understand, how it's right and how it's wrong. Well, I literally worked my heart out, and I really had to work hard on that topic, like how to separate two things. Because I remember going to the teachers and asking them, and the teacher said everything is one. And I'm like, if everything is one, then how do people have so many names to it? But that was my theory. But and now, over the period of my journey, I do acknowledge that I think I don't have a separation.
Yeah, sorry for the interruption, guys. We are again here, Aradhana and Shivangi.
And awesome.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Raseshwari. Just be around us.
Yeah, I'm here, girls.
Don't you leave us. So everybody out there who's listening to us, wonder what big mountain we are breaking. Like every time we try and do this, there has to be some technical, glitch coming our way. So if you could all also just do some contribution, like magically, like just
Just
like
ask everything for ease.
just ask for this to happen with ease. Yeah, so that we can all have a lot of fun. Yeah, so Aradhana, are we ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Thank you.
Yes, I was saying that I'll just introduce Aradhana for all those who don't know her. That she is an Access Consciousness certified facilitator. She is a life and communications coach. She has been engaging with, she's engaged with over 1,000 people on, their issues relating to money, sex, relationships. And yeah, she is like this really amazingly wonderful woman who is a walking, talking magician who really empowers you to, spot the leader in you and believe it, like really believe it. So thank you, Aradhana, for
Thank you.
taking out time for this. And
Thank you, Shivangi, for asking this. Thank you.
yeah, and I really wonder what shape, what heights this topic, turn it up and sex it up, is going to take, really. Like I can already see it. I can already see the vibe within us, amongst us, and also the people who come to hear the conversation before this. So yeah, guys, the last conversation, we tried to have this interview, and some of the technical glitch happened and we couldn't do it. But Aradhana was live with you guys, responding to your questions. So thank you so much for supporting us that day. Thank you so much for all your questions, and we request you to put in your questions even today. We'll try and pick it up in towards the end of the interview. Um, Now, Aradhana, I'll begin with my first question.
Yes, Shivangi, I'm looking forward to it. I'm like, what is Shivangi taking me to? Okay, but I'm here.
Okay, so my first question really is that when we hear the term sex, it generates whole lot of thoughts, emotions, ideas, um, and you know it's just tagged as something which is not nice to talk about in public. It is just tagged as something which is inappropriate, though all of us know that it's also it is one of the reasons why we exist.
Correct.
So with all of this going around, and with so much charge on this term, on this topic, what make you pick it up all the time in your classes and while you said agreed to this interview?
That's funny when you're asking me that, Shivangi, because I come across like a elegant woman, but like I am a very naughty kid. There's a naughty kid in me who loves it, and for me, it's not that I really specifically pick it up, but there never has been a wrongness in my world to this word, and have been very easy because I guess for me, sex is not only about copulation. It's not about the two private parts going into each other. For me, it's much more. It's like, sex is the generation of life and living. For me, it's like, and it's funny that every time I have used this word over the years, and I've seen people having a big smile, and I love teasing kids, and everybody has a smile, yet they want to curb it down and put it in and not to use this word because it's bad and ugly. And in my world, I think I always keep looking what is ugly about it. I haven't yet found any ugliness around it. And see, orgasm is what we are here from, right? Life is all through orgasm. And why is it wrong? What is wrong about it? It's like a big question. I still, even when you're asking me, I still don't get that why people find it bad and ugly. What's wrong in it? It's just having fun, and you're having fun with food, you're having fun with your clothes, you're having fun with everything. You're sexing with everything all the time. So is it only that two body parts that makes it so wrong and right? I mean, why?
Hi guys. Sorry again, we are facing some technical glitch. And so now we are inviting you all to join us on this Zoom call directly. And we are putting the link on this Be the Change post and also in the comment section of this live video. You guys can just join us in the Zoom only.
Meanwhile, we can carry on this time. If we disconnect, please join us on the Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
so we'll continue this live and you guys can join us on Zoom. Do get onto the link, use the meeting ID, and then also use the password. Please read the entire message. Thank you, guys. Thank you for bearing with us.
I guess this
Yes.
topic sex is actually sexing it up. It's sexing it up the technology, which probably is not willing to see. Awesome. Let's keep going. Yeah, Shivangi.
Yeah, okay. So I just had like a follow-up question on that,
Mhm.
Aradhana. I guess, all of this, uh, really limiting our sexual possibilities, explorations, intimacy, and understanding sex for ourselves is sort of shut down during childhood. Um, so what is it like for you? Like, I mean, you have a son. So, I mean, how do you as a mother sort of look at this aspect? Like, how did you deal with your son when there were conversations about
My
this?
my son has to tell me, Mom, hope you remember I'm your son. Because I have no filters in my life. And that can be my strength, and for a lot of people that can be my wrongness, and but that's what is my strength, because I actually am not built up with those filters. And I have no, as I told you at the start of the conversation, I started that I have no separation in my world. So I don't have any filters. So like, if any question he asked, I was very open to tell him for everything I knew. And he grew up with that whole information, and every time his friends and he had been conversing, he had been talking very openly. And at times he's been embarrassed, like he's like, Mom, I'm your son. I said, I get it, so what? I mean, this is normal, you've grown up, and we can talk about it, there's nothing wrong about it. And I always gave the credit also to, because I think in my family, though we never spoke about sex so much, but being a medical doctor family, my father has been a doctor, and I have a doctor family where it was never wrong. So I thought that I had that background. That is when I am being so easy around sex, because every word around your body parts and everything is spoken so easily in the house that it wasn't ever wrong for me. So I guess that is who I be, and what. But now I see it. It's not about that. I think I just, I just still do not find the wrongness in it. And
Wow.
talking now also, I still do not find the wrongness in it.
Everybody out there, please listen to this mother. Thank you,
But
Aradhana,
that
for
does
showing
give,
us.
yeah, but
Yeah.
Shivangi, that does give space to my son, and for him to grow up with his sexuality, how he is, how he wants to explore. And we as kids are always very curious to explore our body parts and body stuff. But from our childhood, this starts getting wrongness into our world, because parents said, don't touch your body parts. That itself starts making you wrong, and you start separating from your body. If you're separating from your body, where are you going to live? So that whole, and I've seen a lot of my work that I've seen people are still confused about it, still confused about their bodies, how to be with them. Because if you have cut down the lifeline, how are you going to live? So are you actually truly living, is my question, if you have a point of view around sex.
So would you then say that observing kids while they, just while they play around,
Yeah,
is an invitation to really an exploration to your own sexualness? Would you like?
totally, because they have no point of view. Only we adults have a point of view. I love watching animals doing that too. I am very keen observer, and I love watching life, and I love life, and I keep watching animals. And people are so weird. They'll pick up a stone and they start hitting animals. I mean, they're allowed to do it. The more you stop doing all this, the more you have been, talked about, like the more you want to do it. Though if you actually given the chance, how much would you do it? And how
It's
long
so
would you do it?
it's so interesting. I just got reminded of this very recent news that I saw. Like this is like these one of the good news is because right now there's so much crisis and panic in the world, and it's somewhere in China, I guess, where now the zoo. I mean, like people are not coming out, and now the zoo and all these places are locked, and the animals are really allowed to be outside by themselves. And it was found out that two pandas who were I mean 3-4 pandas who were set free, two amongst them got out and played and whatever, and then they finally had sex,
Wow.
and
Wow.
the news
Yeah.
really was that, oh, they just wanted humans to go away so that they can have some romance in their life, because in all this while they've not had it. So I
Yeah,
was like,
wow.
wow.
Wow. Wow. See, nature is having it 24/7. We are having it with nature all the time. We are in the nature. We kind of sense fresh air. We sense eating. We sense to everything around, right? We talk to people. We are so mesmerized. We're so orgasmically excited when we meet people, and happy and joyful and chatting and bringing life. That is called sex. How you be in the world with your bodies is called sex. It's not about copulation, but only the tiniest part of it, which also does not come into your intimacy factors, has been made so huge in the world. I yet wonder, and I remember asking my Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, this question: don't you think money and sex has been made too much topic to control the world? And he's like, "Bitch, get to work." And stop this metaphysics stuff. And I'm like, metaphysics? I mean, I'm not interested, but I totally get it. That is the point of view that you can't. Sex is about living. It's about life. That's your breath. How can you get sex from? And you're cutting. That's when you see people into depressions. That is when you see people stress, people through their pains, aches, because they have been beating their body wrong. And somebody asked me the question other day on the live that how about the Indian culture, you know and it's like, is it wrong? Should I go out and have it? I'm not there to answer and tell anybody what you should have or not have it. It's your choice. I'm only telling you, I'm here to just empower you to let know, please look into your world. What is so wrong about sex? Are you actually not having sex, or are you lying to yourself that you're not having sex? What is the truth for you? And no culture, no nothing has stopped, no other person than you have stopped you. And your point of view is creating your reality, because that is how you're behaving. I mean, there are different kind of people on the same planet and same space, and acting very differently to the same word. Yeah.
Yeah. It actually, like, the moment you say like 2 lines, I'm like, I have this question. I have this question. And then as you go on, I'm like, okay, it's already getting, like, I
Answered.
already got the answer for that. So, thank you. And hi, everybody who's joined us here. We're not sure if we are still live on Facebook.
No,
so-
we are not live now, but
my God.
I will
Okay.
request everyone to show their faces, please.
Yes. If we could see who all are here. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for just tuning in.
We can keep going, taking it live, Ras, if possible, so the people are there. And meanwhile, we can keep talking here. Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah. Let's
Thank
keep
Switching on and off
hacking
from-
Facebook for this. It's like you hack us, we hack you.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you, Aradhana. Thank you so much. And it really does open up a lot of conversations in my head. I mean, it's like, I mean, largely the reason why modernity has also sort of rejected religion is because it has always controlled bodies. It has always controlled the conversations around sex.
Yeah.
And even within the modern world, there is a lot of now market around sex. So it's just like it's just like you take people away from one kind of strong charge and bring them to a space where there is another kind of strong charge. So
Right.
really the beauty of it is sort of getting lost
Yeah.
in the way.
True.
And so every time, the topic of sex really comes in, um, even if we mention it or we don't mention it, this whole idea of an intimate relationship with your partner is attached to the conversation of sex.
Correct.
uh, and so would you like to tell us, like, what do you I mean, how do you perceive this whole attachment of relationship with sex, and that going together always?
Yeah.
Like, is that problematic, or is are we missing something there?
So
What is
having
it?
said, yeah, so having said that, Dan, Shivangi, it's not about others. It's always about you. Pro- it's like we always say, money isn't the problem. You are. So sex is not the problem. You are. Your point of view is a problem. So if you have it's because we have been buying true and real from our parents, from the society, what we have grown up as, that it is something wrong. So, and suddenly the entire life you've been told before your marriage, especially in Indian culture, do not talk about sex. This is a bad thing. This is a totally bad thing, not to talk about it at all. And suddenly one night you're getting married, and the second day everybody's asking, are you going to have a baby? I mean, who knows what to do and what not, because you haven't made your whole life, the sexuality has been made wrong. And you are confused with that whole lot of the world, that, what is correct about it. So as I'm saying, the base is only not there. But then if the base is not there, how would they actually build up a relationship with the partners? So
Yeah.
it's like under the carpet. Everything is spoken under the carpet. Like even the family in the morning, if the husband and wife are walking out of the family, it's like under. Everything has to be hidden about sex, has to be hidden. I wonder what that leads to. But then if I am like, if you have that vulnerability, those five, and the five intimacy factor does not even include sex in it. It includes vulnerability, gratitude, allowance for oneself. Do you trust yourself ever? Do you honor you? Do you have allowance for yourself? Do you, and if you have these factors with you, would you actually look for that outside you? But when you do not have those factors for yourself, and you're not even allowing yourself to talk about sex within your head, how do you think other person outside you can talk about sex to you, whether it comes in the form of a partner or any other relationship? So you are rejecting sex all the time, and then you have a sexual problems. I mean, you can be with one man your entire life, and one lady your entire life, and then you can play from the space of total joy of it. Not that you have to do it something. There is nothing doing here. It's a very natural process. It's like a flow of the life which has been shut because something to create a drama in the life, something to talk and something to hide. And that is the topic everybody hides about, and the relationships around here and there around the world. So it's yes, it's totally about receiving us. It's receiving in the sense that when you find that whole sex thing going messed up in your world, look at you. Are you actually in allowance of you, of talking sex, or walking sex, or eating sex? What does sex, that is the word I gave the other day also, what does sex means in your world first? What have you kind of defined and limited yourself into? That if I mean, if you actually take the wrongness and the rightness out of this word, what can you create in the world? I mean, I'm not asking, and I'm not telling anybody to go have sex with multiple partners. It's your choice. We always have a choice. But if you make it wrong, then you have to have it. It's like, should I have it? Should I not have it? I mean, choice. Everybody has a dream. And I mean, for me, everything around sex is to do with you, yourself, your body. It's nothing to do with the person outside me. Why would a person actually need that? It's need is always a lie in my world. There is no need. We are made complete in our own selves, yet we choose to have a partner. And these days you can have partner in the same sex, and you can have a partner in the opposite sex. It's up to you. So how much, and are you waiting for the other partner for you to acknowledge you, and then you will acknowledge you, and are you like kind of validated by them? I mean, there's a lot of confusion in my world that how people think about it, because it doesn't really match my world. That's why it's easy for me.
Yeah, I guess, by the end of the day, like, I mean, it's something which is very commonly said, that all of us desire to be loved, all of us, which means all of us just desire to be acknowledged, all
Yeah,
of us just desire to feel belonged.
yeah, yeah,
um, and it's a very interesting take that, do I belong to myself,
yeah,
am I feeling loved enough by myself?
yeah,
So, and if we start from that space, then what is the kind of energy we are inviting in our lives?
yeah. And
So
if you
thank
have a
you.
point of view, and if you have anything wrongness, that will show up. That will exactly what will show up in your world. So
Yeah.
I wonder. So
Yeah. Thank you so much, Aradhana. So all those who are here with us, I just like to give a little bit of background of how this whole conversation about this interview and this call sort of started. So initially we just sort of doing this blog on a topic, and then we were like, okay, no, let's take this conversation outside. And the topic then was widowhood, window to possibilities. And I mean, between me and Aradhana, we realized that something very icky, like it's just not actualizing. What we're trying to do with this is not happening. And then we were like, okay, let's just change the topic, because it's coming from a space of a very contracted world, where you are saying that because I am in this situation, therefore I have possibilities. So just wanted to give that context to everybody who's here. And while we had the topic in our head, there were already certain questions that were going on for me. And I'd like to pick one of the questions from that time when we were discussing that topic. That Aradhana, so with the kind of work that you're doing in the world at this point, there is a lot of vulnerability with which you come out, and you seem pretty comfortable in your own skin, and therefore you're ready to show up as who you are every day of your life, and be like, okay, here I am, and let's talk about stuff, that matters to you. um, though while you do that, just want to check on what are the kind of tags, labels, or challenges do you face, considering whatever your identity or at this point
I mean,
is in
it's
an
funny
Indian
when you,
context.
yeah, but it's funny when you ask me. I don't think I go through anything of that, or maybe I don't see it. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I only see what I want to see, and we always
Yeah.
see what we want to see. I definitely, I'm sure it might be going around the world, but I have always been only bothered to see what I wanted to see.
Would
I
you
think
say that you have like no low days, like no days when somebody is trying to like pull you down and be like,
no. So I when I pick up, definitely I give, and it's not. I've realized that I never get low because others are making me pull down. It's
Mhm,
only about my world, that what is it that I'm actually getting pulled down with their talk.
mhm,
So it's like, yes, at times, it's like how I should have taken care of my husband, or how I should be or not be. But I guess um, it's not never about them. I don't have complaints with the world at all, ever. I mean, nothing outside me really matters to me. For me, everybody who's saying something, and if it's really affecting my world, something I am letting it affect. So I have a very different perspective of looking at life. And when people say they have problems with people, I'm like, really, I really never have a problem with anybody. Even people come and do stuff with me, or are upset with me, or leave me as friends, or whatever. I'm like, okay. And second day if they come around, I'm like, hi, what's up? Because I'm like, even if they showed something in me, if my parents or my family or somebody, I introspect myself that what gift is that? For me, everything is a gift in life, and everything is gifting me something I've asked. So it's never nobody can pull you down unless you really want to. So
It's
I wonder what to
interesting that
say
now
here.
I get why that topic didn't work. I'm like, उस topic के lens से तो आराधना की कहानी सुनाई ही नहीं जा सकती.
Yeah, because I don't have a point of view of anybody saying anything to me ever. I'm like, I'm here, whatever, and whatever you bring it on. So that's my mantra: bring it on, and let's play. And I think I'm in fact very grateful to everybody who actually says something to me, which kind of when you ask me this question, I'm like, who says me anything? I wonder, but it's only when I pick it up, and also the other thing I really beautifully would like to tell everybody: when people are talking, they're not talking about you; they're talking about themselves. So for me, I look from that space of the world that, oh, okay, that's what's going on in their life. It's not about me. And I get that over the period of journey, because I uh, always wanted to introspect life. What is life and living? Because I love living. And what makes people unhappy? That has been my journey from my childhood. Why is a person unhappy? What makes them unhappy? And and the weirdest part is I have been, according to this reality, through so much, which is like, for me, I never feel it so much. It's like, okay, I did that, and I had a terrible. I mean, I lost my husband. I loved him like crazy. I still love him. I still see him. I still talk to him, and never. And other day on the some of the side, they were talking 6 months. No, it's 6 months for him to go, but I always sense him around. So I'm happy with him. I'm happy with everything, and it's like keep going in life, and you're here to experience different experiences, and universe is always supporting you, and everything is supporting you if you're asking for support. So what you see you get. And I am very beautifully supported by all of you, and I have a huge consciousness family which really supports me. I have my family, and I guess everybody supports me, everybody loves me. That's what I get. Unless if somebody doesn't love me, can come and show up, let me know who doesn't love me, and then we can see and talk about that, and maybe then I can tell you what is the tag that has been put onto me, which I probably have never received in my world.
It's like, I mean, it's like how it said that what you focus on expands, and I think it's a very good example of that
Yeah.
when I didn't sort of look at it, it never got expanded in my world.
Yeah, it's like where you deviate your energy, that's where it goes. So, and it's so beautiful, not that I've not been hit by men. There are a lot of men who do hit on me, but I receive them so beautifully. I'm like, okay. And after a while, they also don't have a whole point of view having sex with me or not having sex with me. It's not about that. It's generally how I'm receiving them. They just want to say hi to me, and I'm like, hi. And it's like, it's no separation of a man and a woman for me. I mean, and I know what my body desires, and it will get what it desires. But that does not mean I have to reject men in my life. I mean, they're so beautiful. They're amazing. They're just like, hey, beautiful. I'm like, hey, thanks. And I think I just melt down with the haze, and even the women and everybody kind of, it's weird. When are you talking to me more? I don't have a separation.
Yeah, I guess like it's like just waiting, not really waiting, but it's always nice to just have acknowledged it, like,
Yeah. I mean,
okay,
somebody's
I know you, and I know that you're there, so hi.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah. And it's like, okay. And it's been amazing that, random people show up on my Facebook, on my Instas and stuff. And sometimes or other times I end up like, sometimes you think it's your work. So you just end up chatting, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm sorry. Thanks for saying that, but I'm not interested. They're like, okay, then we can shut it down here. And that's it. And I receive them. I'm like, okay, thank you. That's it. I mean, but it's like, I've always believed you do not know when the God comes to you, in what form it comes to you. So never reject anything, receive everything. So, and what you will ask for, you will receive.
Wonder what's that opening for a lot of us. It's just like, Aradhana, you were like this, what do I say? You just put things in such a simple form. It's just like, kya time pass kar rahe ho? Why are you like roaming
Yeah,
around?
and then I asked a lot of my friends, I was like, do I have something wrong in me? Nobody wants to. And I remember asking 2 or 3 guys, "Hey guys, do you want to have sex with me?" They said, "No, thank you." I'm like, what do I do with that? They're like, "No, we've already had so much of sex with you." It's like they just start respecting me. It's like so funny in my world, and I'm like, "Okay, thank you," but it's not. See, we make men wrong. They just want to be acknowledged. Not every man wants to have sex with you, doesn't want to get into you, doesn't want to copulate with you. It's just like, hey, that's it. Look at me. And I'm like, okay.
And how much of that madness is going around in the world that,
Yeah.
you know,
And yeah, that's a
it's
fight
all
because they're
about
fighting with their
sex.
bodies. They're fighting with their bodies, and then they've been rejected by the world. And I got this lot of this insights from Dr. Dain here as well. Like when I got into Access, I was so excited to meet him, and everybody in my family, my son, my husband would ask, "Are you in love with this guy?" I said, "I don't understand the word love at all, for sure, but I have to meet this guy for sure." And I remember when I met him and I saw him, I could see that pull to kind of get ruled towards him. And I'm like, wow, what's going on in my world? And then I could see everybody getting to like a, honeybee. Everybody's getting tipcoat to him. And I'm like, oh, wow, what's that? I'll have that. And that's when I realized that because he has no judgment. And so do I don't have a judgment. I step in the wrong. Is that, do I do something wrong? Or do I talk wrong to men? Or what is it that every man wants to every man wanted to copulate with me. And I'm like, shit, what do I do? Do I give wrong signals? Do I smile a lot? Do I laugh? Because that's my parents have been telling me all my life. And, you too much. I'm like, really? But that's when, and thanks to Dr. Dain, looking at him, I got that vibe. Oh, I don't have a judgment for anybody. And that's what kind of attracts every man or a woman to me. It's not that I don't have a woman followers. I have enough women followers. And I love them as equally as I love
Raise
them.
your hand.
So it's about just acknowledging each other on the planet, and just acknowledgement itself is a sex in itself.
Yeah.
And I think
And really, like how attractive that is, when
yeah,
somebody just allows you to be, how attractive is that?
correct. Because you've never even grown up with that energy in your life where you have not been judged. Like when you as a child, because it's not that our parents were wrong or anybody's wrong or right, but every parent wants their child to be looked beautifully and received by the world beautifully. So they want them to look perfect and nice, well mannered, well manicured, well stuffed. But in that whole range, they forget that child only requires love, right? And so we've been brought up with so much judgment that we know love is only through judgment, through the contraction. But that just contracts our world. But if you're actually like, hey, here it is, it just expands your world. And when
And
there
I
will
have
be
a question
expansion.
on that
Yes, please.
actually.
Yes.
So, I mean, as a young woman, I also get attracted to a lot of men, and a lot of times that takes me to a space where I'm just constantly like looking at, okay, what's not right in me at this moment. Like I'm like, oh, only if I had gotten this fixed and this fixed and this fixed, I think I would have gotten this guy to hang around with me.
But what's the value of getting that guy at all?
So, but what is that like
That
vibration in your body? Because you're still feeling attracted, right?
Yeah. So that's what we were talking, and Shannon O'Hara, Gary Douglas' daughter, and we were on the sexual healing call with her, and she was like beautifully said, she's like, when you have a liking for somebody or you're really attracted to somebody, run. Just run the opposite direction. And I was like, what is that? And I was like, oh, and that's when the whole world came out to be that we are so contracted. We are so used to loving from contraction, and contraction leads to rejection. And we are so rejected. And when somebody really rejects, we think that person really loves us. And we keep going into abuse. That's how we have learned to grow up. So because there is no kick in it, there is no rejection, there is no judgment. So we don't think the person loves. And the person who really comes to you and just says, hey, I love you, and is there to do everything for you without any point of view, you will not even pay heed to them, because that they're expanding your world. You're so easy, even if you're sitting in your chaddi or you're sitting in your housewear clothes and you're just relaxing, you don't have a point. They're not judging you. My husband never judged me. It was so amazing to be around him all the time. Like, easy peasy, like you don't have to get dressed, you don't have to like, okay. And it was funny when I would get dressed. I said, can you at least look at me and say that I'm pretty? He says, of course, you're my wife, you're pretty. I'm like, awesome. And that used to really bug me. I thought, what's that? But then I've grown up over with this whole energy in my life. And that's when I really, really want to invite the whole world. Guys, it's not a wrong word. Start looking at what it means. Because the more you'll be stopped, the more you'll fight. And that is what you're going to give to your kids. What if you can actually give them a new world, a different possibility of just being easy? Don't panic in life. Start looking. It's not killing you. Sex word is not going to kill you. I mean, you're only bothered about people's judgment, but who has time for you? Nobody, everybody lives in their own heads. We think other people are looking at me, and no, only you are looking at you. So stop.
Aradhana,
Yes, please.
there's a question from Umesh. Can you please share some more of running on the opposite side when gets attracted?
Yeah, so that is when I was talking, Umesh, was from the space of rejection. That, because we are again used to that whole contraction world, that how we were judged. Am I doing good? Am I not doing good? So that person is rejecting you because you have to be perfect, like what Shivangi said, we have to wear this much or do that much, and then rejecting. Then you will be rejected. But if you're gonna be with that person for your entire life, would you be able to be making up your so well? Like, are you half inch here or half inch there? Is that what you love, or you love the being? So love from contraction or love from expansion? That's my question. Anything else?
Your question.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. Just want to pick up on this question that somebody had posted on the last call video in the comment section, and it's a very interesting question because it sort of came in between for a fleeting moment. But Tenzi was asking about sexing with money, and what does that really mean? And I thought it would be a very contributive question for a lot of us. So,
sexing with money is sexing with yourself. When you've been allowed, when you love yourself, when you be that joyful, that exuberant, when you're oozing orgasms, it's like, have you ever seen kids? They're always oozing. That bubbly, cute kids, any caste, any creed, any color, kids are joyful, that energy. Do they actually have to ever bother about their money? Or they have their parents to take care of their money? So joy attracts money. So if you be that energy from within, you are already sexed up. And that
are you saying
money.
I'm making money right now?
Are you not? Are you not? Are you not? Tell me, whenever you are joyful, do you really bother about money? In that 10 seconds, if you're home, even if you're on the road, and you see people on the road, if they're laughing and giggling, are they really bothered about money? No. So money follows joy, and sex follows money. It's like, if you be sexed up, joyful, money will come to you automatically. What is money? Money is also you. It's an energy, right? So what if money is equal to you? Then what would you say, Shivangi? So would your money be sexed up? Would you first you would like to be sexed up? Or sex is still wrong in your world?
Sexed up.
So if you are sexed up, you are the money, you are walking, talking magician, you are changing and shifting people's world already. And I guess we need to acknowledge that, and it's now the time.
Now is the time.
Now is the time. Sex it up, amp it up. Sex it up. And that should be my mantra now. Sex it up, amp it up.
It already is, Aradhana.
It's like, if people have come to my workshops and classes, are they tagged with the word sex? If they're using the word sex, and if I don't know, and they've been charged, that they're coming from Aradhana's class and workshop. What money can be easy. Sex can be easy. Everything can be easy. It's your choice.
That's pretty interesting. Can we have a class on this? Sex it up and turn it up.
We have a class on this, guys.
Really?
So we are doing a class on turn it up and sex it up. This really amazing
Wow.
topic, which is opening so much for a lot of us. And I mean, it's interesting how it has developed. I mean, it's also creating itself on its own, with all the energies that are getting attracted to it. And we thought, why not convert it into a class? So we would be doing the first Turn It Up, Sex It Up class on 18th of April. It will be a
That is
4-hour class.
Saturday. Saturday.
Yes, it's a
Yeah.
Saturday. So Saturday is a good day.
Yeah. Who all are excited over here? यार
So-
अपने चेहरे तो दिखा
so
दो कौन
you
yeah,
can-
Umesh is excited. Who else?
So you can
Akshat,
ask any
Neeru,
kind.
Anita ji.
So you can come up with any kind of questions. I'm willing to happy to take any questions. For me, no question is a bad question, wrong question, right question. And it's funny, years back, that makes me remind the last thing I would like to say. It's like ages back, I got into an advertisement of our co-facilitator who was coming from Canada, and her class was on sets. And we were the host for her. And there were 2-3 names given on the list. And it's not funny, it was 4 years back. People still call me up. This is आपका number हमने वहाँ से लिया था. So sex होता है क्या? I said हाँ बिल्कुल होता है. And I remember my husband standing next to me all the time. He's like, what the hell are you doing? I said, just chill, let me have fun. And then they're like, हाँ वो ना हमें sex करना था. तो I'm like, हाँ आ जाओ. इतना पैसा लगता है. ज्ञान मिल जाएगा पूरा. And they're like, and they're like, no, but I have this problem that every girl I talk to, I want to have sex. And I'm like, okay, but why is that wrong? You're allowed to have that much sex. And that just flashed their world. And they never called me back. And it was like funny. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, because I think even that call, they used to get scared. I never shut that call down. I would tell them, hey, prostitution is not going, but there is definitely, I can help you out. What is it? And you're not wrong having that urge in you to have sex all the time. And that used to change their world. And they never kind of returned with that call. So I guess it's just your point of view. Pardon me?
What a beautiful share.
Yeah.
There's a question. What question can I ask when I've been so addicted to future predictions and readings?
So
Are we talking about sex over here?
shut it down. Shut down. Future is you haven't even seen it. Be here, be now, be present. Live it now. Who knows? Did you know Corona is gonna come in? So just live here.
The thing with future is it never comes.
It never comes. You're always in the present and you keep waiting for that future. That's so rightly said, Shivangi. Awesome. I love it. Totally true.
Meme.
Mim from Shivangi Dhadich. I love it.
Okay,
Awesome.
guys.
Thank
So,
you, guys.
I mean, it's already 6:22. We could take like another
Last.
question if anybody
Yeah.
has one. Or else you are all welcome to our class on the 18th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It will be a 4-hour class. Turn it up, sex it up on 18th April, which is a Saturday. And this will be the first class. And I mean, any questions that you
See,
have.
this class
around
got
sex.
created by itself. Any question around sex. is
any question. I'm telling you, there aren't enough spaces to talk about this. So I mean, really, really, really thank you so much in being the collaborators, in this idea, in this really very foundational idea, and really helping us put this together. We're very
And
motivated.
guys, in case you guys have any queries, you can contact Ritu Bhari, Parita, and myself, Raseshwari. And you can, for more details, you can check our page, that is Be The Change on Facebook. And also on Insta, you can check on Be The Change page over there.
Awesome. Thank you, Shivangi, for this amazing time. And it's so funny, like so much opened up for me. I'm an awesome. What else?
Thank you
I
so
was like,
much. Thank you
yeah.
so much for just always like receiving me so quickly. Like, let's do this, Aradhana. Let's do this, Shivang. Let's do this, Shivang. Let's do this, Aradhana.
Thank you, Aradhana. Every
Great
time,
energy. Thank
every
you.
time you bring a new perspective to the word SEX.
Yes,
What
SEX.
else is possible?
But let's amp it up. Sex it up,
Amp it up.
guys.
Amp it
Let's
up.
turn on our
Anyone
sexual
from the
capacities,
participants
guys.
would like to say anything?
Anybody wants to say anything? We have another 6 minutes and then we're going to close this.
Umesh, would you like to say anything?
Umesh is really happy.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching.
Thank you. It was amazing. Thank you.
Did that change your world, Umesh?
Even yeah, it's not even on that day also. It's opened up a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
receiving it so
you
beautifully.
so
And
much.
thank you for being on the planet, guys. Thank you. Change it. Awesome.
Wonder what you knew, Umesh. Thank you so much for joining us again in this conversation. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. It was a pleasure, and thanks to you to all.
Jyoti, Ruchi, anybody else? Harshad? Shalini, please smile. Would you like to say something? Unmute yourself. Yeah.
Can't hear you, Shalini.
Shalini, we can't hear you.
No, we can't hear her.
We can't hear
Can't
you.
hear her.
We still can't hear you. You could probably type it out. Thank you. Thank you.
Are you able to hear me
Harshad?
now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Harshad is
Harshad, we
speaking.
can say. Yeah, Harshad.
Yes.
Yeah. Aradhana, you are always making me wonder. You open the things very differently and you are taking me to a different world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm happy I could.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for receiving. That's
Thank you
my
so much.
desire, and that's been my ask that, hey, guys, life is actually beautiful. Can we look at it from the different perspective? And
Yeah.
I'm glad that there are people to receive it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Harshad. Parita? Parita is silent.
Looking forward from doing my bass class. Awesome.
Jyoti?
Thanks, Shalini.
Thanks, Shalini, for writing it. Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay, no one else.
Okay, guys.
Okay, guys. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be bringing more such conversations. So stay tuned and do join us for our class on the 18th, the first class of Turn It Up and Sex It Up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shivangi. Thank you, Aradhana. Thank you so much, girls.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Love you, girls. Yeah. Bye-bye.